tonight, its effects are not apparent until oftentimes it's far too late. Doctors call lead poisoning the invisible threat. It's in and around our homes, and here in the Portland area, it affects more people than you might think.
Well, KOIN News 6 reporter Jolie Winaga joins us live right now, and I know, Joel, you had a chance to talk with a family in North Portland, and some are calling this an epidemic, aren't they?
That is correct, Jeff and Kelly. Good evening to you. And here is why. 85% of homes in Portland alone were built before the 1978 ban on lead paint went into effect. Now, some of you, many of you, may have one of these in your garage, an old can of lead-based paint, and lead poisoning is for real, folks. Here in Northeast Portland, it nearly took the lives of 3 very young children. They play as carefree children today and have no memory of what poisoned them and nearly took their lives as babies more than 3 years ago. But Mom and Dad, Tamara and Len Rubin, know all too well their nightmare. Their kids' permanent brain damage was easily preventable.
Our kids became violently ill, and for over a month we tried to figure out what was wrong with them.
Blood tests confirmed the worst. Acute lead poisoning, severe and dangerous levels in all 3 children. The cause, a painting contractor illegally used an open flame torch to remove lead paint from their historic Irvington home in Northeast Portland. The children exposed to lead dust and poisoned by inhaling the toxic fumes during the torch burning process.
Well, there was depression, fury, rage against how could our kids be the recipients of laziness, greed.
The doctor called us and said, "You need to move out of your house right now. Your child has lead poisoning."
Health officials say horror stories like the Rubins are becoming more common.
The leading cause of lead in Portland is lead-based paint and dust from remodeling. And in the city of Portland, about 85% of our homes were built before lead was banned from paint, which was in 1978.
Erin McNally runs the Josiah Hill Clinic in Northeast Portland. It offers free to low-cost lead screening, and she urges all parents to get children tested for lead levels. Signs of lead poisoning may not be noticeable until dangerous, even deadly levels. Symptoms may be mistaken for the flu. Headaches, fatigue, vomiting, stomach ache. Long-term effects of lead poisoning include severe damage to the brain and nervous system. 3-year-old Avi Rubin suffered from all of these symptoms.
He's got poisoning that is going to cause irreversible brain damage and have long-term effects for the rest of his life. And I was just like beside myself. I mean,
the Rubins are now pushing the government for stricter regulations.
Our chief concern was to try to prevent what happened to our kids from happening to other kids.
It is scary, and in comparison, less than 5% of kids are actually tested.
Mommy, watch!
Now in their new home in Selwood, the Rubins make sure it's free of any lurking hazards. And take a look. The Josiah Hill Clinic sponsors a number of lead testing clinics, with the next one being held this Thursday, May 1st, from 11 o'clock until 1 at the Baltazar Ortiz Community Center at 6736 Northeast Killingsworth. It is free and open to the public, but donations are accepted. And the Rubins say, bottom line, take it from them. Have your children tested. Reporting live in Northeast Portland, I'm Jolie Winaga, KOIN News 6. Jeff and Kelly.
A good warning there, Joel, and our coverage continues at KOIN.com, where you'll find tips from the Environmental Protection Agency for safely removing lead paint and ways to keep your children safe while you test for it. There you go.